All right, so slope. You know, this year for some reason has been like fading into oblivion for me. You won't need your calculators today, but there are some things that I can't remember if I taught you or not because I've been teaching math now for almost 7 years and it's all blending. So we're gonna review slope. I think it's a review. If not, this should be pretty simple, and even if it is new. Okay, but when we talk about slope, we talk about pitch or angle of a line. And I think we have kind of gone over some stuff. So down at the bottom of your page, I want you guys to write this down. Hold on. Okay, I want you to write down y equals mx plus b. And this is slope-intercept form. That's how we write up the formula for slope-intercept. Okay, so the intercepts are what we did yesterday, where they cross the axes. This is my x-axis, so wherever it crossed it was the x-intercept. Wherever it crossed the y-axis was the y-intercept. And we did that yesterday, remember, using tables. And then we did it the day before, just substituting 0. Remember? Yeah. So B is the y-intercept. This is where our line crosses that y-axis in this formula. Okay? M is what we're looking for. We're looking for slope. Slope can also be considered rate of change, which we've done using data tables. Yes? And it is, it is also change in y over change in x. And I think we've done a little bit of this. That's a slope formula. Okay? So there's a couple different lines that we've talked about. So the first one is when we have our graph and our line goes up, right? We call this a positive slope because it's going uphill. And it is increasing. Oops. Okay. We have another line that goes downhill, right? So we'll call that a negative and decreasing. Most of our lines are going to be this way if it is a linear expression. That means if it is a straight line on the graph. We also have lines that go this way. When the line goes this way, our 0 is underneath the line. It is undefined. It is undefined. That means it does go up, but it goes straight up. It doesn't have a slope, no pitch. It's just a vertical line. And the last type of line that we have is a line that goes horizontal. We call that no slope. So there is no slope. That would be when m is equal to 0. This information, if you have an opportunity to put it in your notebook, that would be great because you can use this stuff when you take your test next Friday. Okay? So we'll be looking at intercepts and we'll be looking at some slope. We'll be looking at intercept only. We'll be looking at T-charts and the next couple things that are to come. Slope-intercept form. So remember, this is our slope-intercept form. Y and X are just going to be the coordinates that you get. You get an X and you get a Y. M is slope, B is your y-intercept. Any questions so far? No. All right, so these are probably going to be super duper simple, and before I set you free, I'm going to go over some things that in your calendar, so you're going to need to take out your agendas after I go over this. Okay, so here we have a couple graphs. Okay, so let's start with this one. We always go from left to right. Always from left to right. Okay, so looking at this, is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going up or is it going down? It's going up, so this is a positive slope. So we always want to go up first when we complete our triangle and then to the right. Okay, so what I did, let's see if I can do it in a different color so that you can see it, is I went up and then to the right. And now I have this triangle. Can you see that? So I want to figure out what my M is going to equal. Let's go back down to the bottom of the page super quick. We talked about M being slope, rate of change, change in Y over change in X, and it's also known as rise over run, right? Yeah. My rise is my Y, my run is my X. Okay, so let's go back down up here. What is my rise? How many units up am I going? 1. So my rise is 1. And what's my run? 5, right? Because don't count the first one. Chloe, you do that all the time. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? A lot of you guys struggle with that graphing because you always count this is 1. It's not 1. It's your first full box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gives me my run as 5. So my slope for this line is 1 over 5. Okay? Sound good? Beautiful. And that's all we have to do. So let's do number 2. Now remember I said rise first. Which direction is this going? Uphill or downhill? Down. So that means that my rise is going to be negative. Where's that other pencil? My rise will be negative, so I'm actually going to count down and then to the right. Okay? So what do I know about my slope then? If I'm counting down, what kind of slope am I going to have? What kind of slope is this?
2.
What kind of slope is this? Positive or negative? It's going to be a negative slope. All right? So let's count. How many spaces down did I have to go? 1, 2, 3. So my slope is negative 3, and then how many spaces to the right did I have to go? 2. My slope is now negative 3 over 2. Okay, so what I'm doing is completing my triangle, and I want you guys to make sure that you are drawing that triangle and counting those spaces. If you want, you can even do this and label your movement. I really want you to understand that slope is rise over run, and if you're going downhill, then your rise is negative. It's still considered a rise. Okay? Any questions so far? No? Let's look at number 3. What do we know about, what can we see about number 3? Does it have a slope? No, but it's not a horizontal line, is it? It's vertical. So what kind of slope is it then? Undefined, right? So that's what we're going to write. We're going to write undefined. What about number 4? Beautiful. What do we say? No slope. So now I've done an example of all 4 different types of slopes that we have. We have a positive, a negative, undefined, and no slope. Now for you guys, you're going to do the back 6, and it should not take you very long, but it is minimum day schedule. And I do have some things that I want you to do. So take out your agendas.